Hi, I'm so glad you're here. I want to share something I've been working on with you in hopes that you might gain something from this discussion. I want to preface that this is not intentionally stealing or plagiarizing, and it is actually based on all of the books I have read, thoughts I have had, and things I have and am currently going through and working on. I would like to shout out anyone who has had these thoughts or ideas before me. I do believe there is nothing new under the sun. So many of us have an original code. What do I mean by that? I mean a code that was inserted, so to speak, in our brains at a very young age. I am guessing around the age 4, but that is purely speculation on my part. This code is based on our living environment at the time, our relationship with our caregivers, and our personalities, as well as our cognitive ones and zeros, like a code in a computer, so to speak. I think the original code is a fallback, a safety net, and something we might actually intentionally or unintentionally have at the base of our existence. We fall back to that code, and some of us may actually seek out people, events, or habits that continue to reinforce that original code. In my case, I think my original code is that I am not lovable and I am on my own and always will be. My code was based on abandonment, fear, and divorce. I was a victim of the women's lib movement and all the families breaking apart so women could roar and have it all. Whenever I am in a romantic relationship, I tend to find ways to reinforce that original code. When it happens, and it eventually does, I am able to give my original code a hit of the drug known as confirmation bias. My mind, and really all of our minds, are always working to make us feel safe and comfortable. Think of our minds as a cool cucumber wearing sunglasses and just there to protect us. It could be that I continue to do things repeatedly in romantic relationships just to prove to myself my original code, that in fact I am alone and really do have to do everything myself. I want to rewrite this code. Each time I have that confirmation bias, which means looking for information that is consistent with my existing beliefs, that I really am on my own and always will be, the little cold prickly, my original code, gets a fix. It's real, I can feel it, and for a little while I can sit back and feel comfortable in my discomfort. My mother's original code, from our long talks and deep dives, is I am not worthy of love. She has chosen men who reinforce that, friendships, and even to this day will seek out times where she knows she will receive a no or be ignored for a confirmation that she is not worthy, and so her original code can get a fix. She and I are working on that. I want to propose a way we can rewrite that original code. My wonderful daughter drew some codes for me. Let's think of the new code as Wonder Woman or Superman. The new code is strong, has his or her arms on his hips, and can handle any situation. I did get the idea for the drawings from the 1983 work by Claude Steiner, but these are original drawings. I want to provide you a visual, as it has really helped me. This is what I will strive to gain. My new code, my new ones and zeros, are I can be alone, but I do not have to be. I can find someone who will be on my team, and I reserve the right to love and be loved. My original code may try to fight, wriggle, scream, and even create scenarios where I can get a fix, so to speak. We could maybe look at the original code as negative. I do not think it was intentionally so. I think it is a defense mechanism. Our minds created the original code at that oh so young age with the information, atmosphere, and relationships with those around us in order to protect us. Our minds strive to always keep us safe. And that defense mechanism, the original code, is very difficult to rewrite. It's not as easy as buying some new software, downloading it, and voila, all is fixed. No, this one is going into the hard drive of our minds, finding that original sets of ones and zeros, and rewriting them. Maybe your original code is, I am not worthy, I am not lovable, I cannot trust anyone, I have to do everything myself, no one loves me, why try, I'll fail, everyone is against me. The list of original codes could be endless and go on forever. The key here is to find your original code. Really look, think about it, and decide you no longer want it to control you. Picture the original code on the screen now each time a confirmation bias event occurs. Picture that original code like a drug addict. It just needs a fix. Once you are aware of your original code, you have a chance to rewrite it. Once you have it pinpointed, you are ready to start to rewrite it, to find out why you felt it was necessary to install and work toward deleting it and installing a new code. As you work on this, picture the new code on the screen now. You can use whatever visuals you choose, but really feel it. Try to see it and find it. It may be obscure, but for whatever reason, as a defense mechanism, your brain, mind, spirit, whatever you want to call it, grabbed on to that message, code, and installed it to protect you. It was maybe only when you were 4 years old, perhaps even younger. That is the key to remember. We are no longer 4. We no longer have a lack of control. We no longer have to be a slave to that code. We can use our higher minds and our spirit to rewrite the original code. I talk to my 4-year-old as my original code is often triggered by the way others treat me and even how I perceive how I am being treated. My mind works to create the original message that I am not lovable and on my own, and always will be, and before I know it, I am abandoned, ostracized, or alone. My code gets a hit, and I feel better for a while. I no longer want to feel better by confirming that long-held and inaccurate due to how very young I was when it was installed. I want to be free from those beliefs. I know we have ourselves only to work on, to fix, and to change. I am not claiming it will be easy, but I do think there is a way to rewrite the original code. I think if we are aware of its existence and we can hold it in our minds, we can slowly, it's okay if it's slowly, learn to recognize each time we reinforce, re-engage, or openly choose events and experience which trigger that original code and the comfort that comes with it. It is a defense mechanism, and it is okay. I am not claiming to know if any of this is true, but it is true for me, so I thought we could talk about it. What do you think your original hardware code is? There could be so many installed original codes based on all of our childhoods, relationships with the adults around us, our siblings, and so many other variables, it may be hard to pinpoint. We may have more than one code. Perhaps the I am not lovable and alone and always will be is just my root code. Maybe I have not even found my original code, but I know I want to. What if all the other codes, often brought up by our inner critic, were built upon that original feeling at the age of 4 or even earlier? I tend to think that is the case, and I must work to find all the hidden, highly protected, and sought-out codes that my mind works to create in my life so it can get a hit. Perhaps your fix is rejection, and then your original code can sit back and relax as you are all alone, you are unworthy, everybody does leave, no one loves you, you're not pretty, you're not smart, you are so stupid, and so many other examples to reaffirm the original negative code. Do you know about projection? Projection is displacing one's feelings onto another. Have you had an abusive or mean family member? Did they tell you you were fat, too skinny, too tall, your legs are too thin, you will never learn, you are a brat? How many of those mixed messages are still in our minds? My grandfather called me fat when I was only 5. I never forgot when he told me that, and perhaps it was just a projected message. Projected messages are often based on the projector's own original code and can become part of our inner dialogue if they align with that original code we installed so young. I was told I would never learn to read or write when I was around 5. Now that did not align with my original code of that I'm not worthy and I'm on my own and always will be. In fact, I was just contrary enough to prove that teacher wrong. The projected negative words and even teasing from loved ones, siblings, children, bullies, extended families, etc., can implant into our minds and become part of the original message. We need to get to the core, the original code, and rewrite that one. And with a lot of hard work, the other codes received from others that aligned with our own thoughts and beliefs at the time may dissipate, but it will be a lot of work. Other issues can be addictions or other behaviors that we enjoy, often to our own detriment, but do provide a fix and push the hard work of rewriting the code to the side. I suffered with debilitating depression and sadness, and my escape was gambling. It was so awful, but the awful was comfortable, so I unfortunately continued the behavior way too long. But I finally found a way out when I realized other humans created the sounds and lights to lure me in and literally addict me to the dopamine. Maybe you have habits or addictions as well. I am willing to look at them all, and I am willing to change, and I hope you will try too. I do not claim to know for sure if I am right about this stuff, but I know I want to change. I want to overcome this often debilitating original code and write a new one. I want to use the information I have now, with my current strengths, and with love for myself, knowing that I can be okay. I can be lovable. I don't have to be alone, and I am worthy. I will continue to work on identifying, overriding, uninstalling, and finding all the codes that were installed long ago, and I will work to rewrite them. I am going to start viewing them as malware, malicious software, installed before I had all the information, and know that I can remove it with my current knowledge, research, and awareness. I have noticed that anything that gives me a strong charge, like another defense mechanism, is something I need to look at. If I have an immediate emotional response, it could be cognitive dissonance. And cognitive dissonance is the discomfort of holding conflicting beliefs or values at the same time, and our original code may jump in to protect us. If I have that discomfort, I want to acknowledge it and face it head on to figure out why the original belief is there. Check if it is part of the original installed software package from my youth, work through it, and rewrite it. I am just starting this journey and wanted to share this with you. Maybe you will join me And through all of us uninstalling the original program code and installing our new codes with the knowledge of our adult minds, we can not only rewrite our own codes, but through our improved reactions, interactions, and loving self-talk, it will be like a computer worm, not a negative thing, but a positive overriding, slowly at first, and then each original hard drive, our minds, to the next mind and the next mind. The worm will eat away those negative thoughts and codes until we are all negative code free. I like to believe it can be done. Let me know what you think. Thank you.